This morning I wanted to talk about the supportive nature of pleasure and joy in practice. The teachings of the Buddha can get a reputation for being grim or serious, because right there in the First Noble Truth, there's the teaching that there is suffering in life. And that's true. Anybody who's paid attention to their mind or their body or their relationships will know that there is suffering in life. There are ways that life is disappointing or difficult. And it's important not to miss the fact that there can also be moments of well-being in life. That there's moments of pleasure, of connection, of amusement. And there can also be the joy that comes through meditation, the joy of being in the present moment. And there's the joy of the connected heart, the heart that connects with the joys of other beings and sees them as not different from one's own joy, that releases the division between self and other and just appreciates the fact that joy is present. If you see someone else playing with a dog, there can be a sense of uplift in your heart because there's another being and other beings enjoying themselves. One time I was by the ocean near Santa Cruz, and there were surfers. It's a wonderful place for surfing. And I was with friends we'd all just been on retreat together, and so the hearts were very light and free. And as we saw a surfer catch a big wave, we all spontaneously said "wee," because there was the hearts were just so responsive to that surfer's imagined enjoyment. There was this sense that the joy didn't belong to them, it didn't belong to us, it was just belonged to sentient beings. And so being on team sentient being unlocks the heart's capacity for rejoicing, even when one's own circumstances are difficult. And being able to turn toward and be nourished by moments of well-being, moments of connection, moments of fun, moments of goodness is a big support for the heart when times are tough, when there might be pain or loss or discouragement in your own life. To be able to turn toward other beings' good fortune and allow yourself to be uplifted by it, to see the potential for well-being and to not get so caught up in who's experiencing it right at the moment. And the thing with this practice is that it can also challenge those feelings of lack, of resentment, of envy. And so it can be this practice of appreciative joy that I'm pointing to right now. It can be very challenging. It's taught as an advanced practice, but the thing with meditation practice in general and these heart practices, maybe in particular, is that it really doesn't proceed in a linear way. Things that might seem really hard can happen all of a sudden, and it's a bit mysterious why. So in moments when you might expect there to be resentment or a sense of lack, the heart can open into appreciation and delight. So not foreclosing on that possibility, not imagining that that's beyond your grasp. So with this practice of deliberately cultivating the heart's capacity for appreciative joy. What the way it's normally taught is going from people who, starting with some being whose joy is really easy for you to take delight in. So this could be somebody who's dear to you, who you have an uncomplicated relationship with, for whom things are going well. Somebody who you really do take delight in their happiness. It could be somebody who maybe you don't know, but whose happiness just really uplifted you in a moment. The kids I saw playing with their dog in the park the other day, and the dog catching the ball but then refusing to relinquish it, and the fun they were all having trying to sort this out. There was a moment of deep delight and amusement for me. So there might be moments like that where there isn't so much of a personal history with the person whose good fortune you're enjoying. And the traditional teaching then expands from that base where it's easy to connect with this feeling of joy to areas where it's more challenging, culminating in places where there might be a feeling of envy or lack or resentment. And so for today, I think we're not going to take a super systematic approach. We're just going to touch into this capacity for connection, for appreciation, for delight, and see what it feels like to familiarize the heart with this quality. So when we're doing practices like this, it's helpful to find a posture that's really quite comfortable. For most of us, that means sitting down or lying down. You could also try standing up if that feels appropriate. Your eyes could be closed or your gaze soft and kind of unfocused. And checking in with your body for any obvious areas of tension and inviting those to soften, not making any demands, just issuing the invitation for more softness. Finding the spine's natural uprightness as the body rests on the earth, supported and welcomed. Feeling the dignity of this upright posture and the ease of the unrestricted breath. And then tuning in to the feeling in the heart right now. Just noticing whether it feels warm or cold, open or closed, light or heavy. Whether there's vivid sensations there or just a kind of numbness. And none of those alternatives are good or bad, just knowing how things are right now. This is how my heart is right now. And bring to mind some being, a dear friend, or maybe an animal, whose joy genuinely delights you. And imagine them in a circumstance where there is joy for them. And just feel what the heart feels. Is there a sense of lightness or uplift or warmth? Sometimes it can feel like a kind of bubbly feeling in the heart, like champagne inside. And you can just rest in that feeling. Or you can also offer them phrases that express this sense of enjoyment. Could be really simple, like, I'm happy that you're happy. The traditional version is, may your happiness and good fortune continue. May they increase and never wane. Maybe bringing another being to mind. A small child laughing in delight. A good friend who's had some kind of success. And notice how the heart feels contemplating this person. I'm happy that you're happy. May your happiness and good fortune continue. May they increase and never wane. And it's not traditional, but it can be helpful to include your own sources of well-being in this practice. Maybe just turning toward simple things that are going well for you. Many of us have clean water that comes out of the taps. You have a device that you can use to connect to the internet and enough time to seek out Dharma talks. Those aren't small things. So letting in a sense of what's going well for you and feeling a sense of appreciation, maybe for just one or two things. You might use a phrase like, I appreciate my good fortune. Not denying the things in your life that are difficult or challenging or heavy, but for this moment orienting towards what can be appreciated, the ways in which you are being supported, nourished, nurtured. And all beings in the world have sources of happiness and joy in their lives, sources of well-being. If we read the news, we can get the impression that there is nothing but oppression and difficulty in the world. And the truth is that there's also resilience. There's also people helping each other. May all beings' happiness and good fortune continue. May they increase and never wane. May all beings have happiness and the causes of happiness. May all beings be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. May all beings not be separated from their happiness. And may all beings know the deepest happiness, which is freedom. May the merit of our practice here together today be shared with all beings everywhere. May all beings be free. Thank you for your practice, and I hope to practice with you again soon.